Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, it's Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the one and only Psychic News Network. How you all doing? I thought I'd make it look like I've been out jumping in the leaves. Oh my goodness, I have gaslighting exhaustion. Honestly, I just made the mistake of watching Ari Melber interview Matt Gaetz. La-di-da, la-di-da. Gaslighting exhaustion. Warren, don't you want to wait till more people show up before we do a group hug? Gloria's with me. She's like, oh my God. Honestly, I mean, it's beyond the pale. Yeah, we'll wait till more people show up. We've had lots of advocates for a group hug, so we're gonna be doing that, I guess, due to popular request. Take some deep breaths. If we don't keep our eye on what's going on, we risk losing our democracy. Yeah. Did you see? You saw Matt Gaetz on Ari Melber? Spewing everything, just BS. Matt Gaetz, BS, just spewing it out. And then it's just like, you are such a slime bucket, a piece of trash. On Ari Melber, like, oh, la-di-da, oh, well, you know, and talking as though he knows what he's talking about to make it. I love the way that they use these words, and, you know, because that's what they do. Gaetz was absolutely disgusting. I noticed a lot of you saw it. That's what they do. They use big words, and then they're like, oh, they're just assuming that people are dumb and they don't know what we're talking about. I don't turn them off. There's only certain things that I turn off. Somebody's mentioned and turn it off. There are things that I do turn off, but we need to know what's going on. We need to know the game they're playing. We need to not lose the plot. And when there's a few more people here, I'm going to tell you the plot again, because I know that it's coming into focus. And it needs to come into focus for a lot more of the American people. This is our job, to make it come into focus for the American people. As many as we can possibly reach. They took civics out of the classroom decades ago for a reason, so that people wouldn't know what was going on. And that's why Matt Gaetz gets out there and all the rest of them and throwing down these big words like, oh yes, we must, I don't know, he was saying something ridiculous, and it was like, as if he's amenable to things. As if they didn't, not that we wanted Kevin Marshmallow McCarthy, but as if they ousted him for something like, I mean, they ousted him because they ousted Kevin McCarthy. Their reason for ousting Kevin McCarthy, Matt Gaetz' reason for ousting Kevin McCarthy was this. Let's be clear. He was forced into working with the Democrats so that the world economy wouldn't completely crash. That's Matt Gaetz' reason that he had for calling for the ouster of Kevin McCarthy. Once again, I and you and all of us knew that Kevin McCarthy was a POS. And a total mamby-pamby minion of DJT. It was because he made a little move in an attempt to not crash the world economy, and that little move that Kevin McCarthy made was he had a moment of reason, or maybe fear, of being blamed for crashing the world economy, and so he said, okay, we'll go ahead and raise the debt ceiling. And the world economy didn't crash, but Kevin McCarthy crashed. I'm not sure about Johnson. I mean, I'm seeing a crash and burn there. Anyhow, it's very upsetting, and that's why we're together. Thank you, Annette. She agrees. The other Annette agrees. Well, what's the guy's first name? Johnson. This is how much I don't even want to look at it. What's his first name? You're Mike Johnson. We're going to read on him. Thank you, Patty, for acknowledging that I'm making you feel better. Mike Johnson is a made man. They all are, and they're all pro-fascism. And the Democrats have a lot of material to use in their advertising campaign. We're going to read on this Johnson guy. He wants full-on abortion bans. This Mike Johnson wants full-on abortion bans. This Mike Johnson was part of the planning of the insurrection. This Mike Johnson refused to certify Joe Biden. Johnson was part of the insurrection. And they got called out by one of the Democrats. I don't know his name off the top of my head. So if you heard him, the one that called out the Republicans for what they're doing, Aguilar. Yeah, he was on the January 6th committee. What's his first name? So many names to follow. Mike is just another pimple. I like it. Wait. Republicans love MAGA? What do you mean by that, Cheryl? I literally saw a truck the other day with a bumper sticker that said Ultra MAGA. Happy Hump Day. Man, I need to watch less TV because I thought it said Happy Trump Day. I'll get past it. I don't think Mike Johnson will be in that position for long either. I totally agree. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at some cards. Let's see. Let's use our rider wait for a little while and then we'll switch it out. Thank you for being here. Does Mike Johnson have an indictment coming? Well, what then? Warren's asking what then if Mike Johnson gets ousted? I haven't gotten that far. It hasn't even been half of a day. Yeah, Dale spent a lot of time cussing today. You got to get it out of your system. You do. How can he be removed? One fascist Republican can this is how Mike Johnson can be removed. Let's just look at it. This is how Mike Johnson can be removed. If Mike Johnson agrees to not have a government shutdown, that's how he can be removed. So, Warren, are you saying one member of Congress would be put in? Either a Democrat or Republican? Let's say when enough Dems are removed. Cora's saying if enough MAGAs are removed. Let's be saying when enough MAGAs are removed, Dems can take over. This is where we're at. You're furious that Trump lost the election, yet controls the House of Representatives. He's just wrong and should be illegal. Yeah. And not for anything, but I look at these fascist Republicans, these, pasty white guys, old, most of them. We need a nickname for Mike Johnson. We'll think of something. I can play with that in my mind. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. It really is remarkable. The thing is, the way that they talk about being macho, we need, what would who was it? Matt Gaetz that was saying Kevin needed testosterone or something, like they go after the manly. Oh, you're not a manly man. We need more manly men with more testosterone, right? They are the wimpiest men I've ever seen in my entire damn life. No freaking spine. Probably never had to do a hard day's work in their entire lives. Johnson. Macho man. Yeah, right. They are the most wimpy men. They have no backbone. They have no decency. They have no shame. You swear they're getting paid to vote for these MAGAs? Who's getting paid to vote for them? You're laughing. I'm glad you're laughing, Dale. I'm so angry. Oh, there's 200. Oh, okay. All right. Warren's calling for the group hug. Ready? Apparently it's very effective, so let's go. We're going to do a group hug so we all feel like we're here together supporting one another. 1, 2, 3. Group hug. Coming together. Nice. I like to think that group hug time, we're all connected. Reminds us that we're all connected energetically. And reminds us that we're in this together and we're forming a movement to save our democracy. If it inspires you, if it motivates you, think of how many people we have lost in wars to fight for democracy. World War II was all about fighting fascism. People are feeling the group hug. That's great. That's great. Yes, Hakeem Jeffries looking really strong. The Democrats are looking really strong. Isn't that so nice? Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting time we're in. But I'm telling you, I don't know why they're all talking about being macho. They're not macho. And at least it's undeniable what they're doing. They just elected somebody who was in on overthrowing the government as speaker. Yeah, so Matt Gaetz was bragging today to Steve Bannon that the new speaker was more MAGA than Jim Jordan, if you can imagine that. Really incredible. I'm going to pull 3 cards about this. I mean, what do you guys do you see it? Is it clear yet? Yeah, Hakeem was, I mean, they're shining brightly. The Democrats are shining really brightly. I'm just wondering if, because I've been following the news as closely as I have for the past 4 or 5 years, all day, every day, as several of us, many of us have. I'm just wondering if you're starting to see how clear it is. And it even happened today when Mike Johnson was up there and the reporters, one of the reporters, good for the reporters, asked him something about, didn't you vote to not certify the election? And there was this older woman there and she's like, no, don't bring that up. Did you catch that? Did you guys catch that? Oh no, we don't want to talk about that when Mike Johnson's standing up there, the newly elected speaker. Yeah, how about that one? Let's just plaster that. Let's make that go viral because it's right in front of us. Yeah, she said shut up. She said shut up. I don't know who she was. Vile is right. She's from North Carolina and booed. Yeah, she said to shut up. She told the press to shut up because somebody asked Mike Johnson, we have a right to know. We're in a democracy. We have a right to know what he thinks about that he didn't certify our free and fair democratic election. And she's telling us to shut up. Don't take your eye off the ball. I'm telling you. 3 cards. I know, it's fine. Somebody's saying some good news about the strike. That's good. We have other things to talk about too, but this is really So many big stories. I don't know what we do without each other, honestly. Yeah, thank you to the wrenches. Does anyone know who that woman was who told the reporter to shut up? Lisa saying Mike Johnson is a Slytherin. What's a Slytherin? This is Mike Johnson. We have to continue pumping out the light. Honestly, I don't know what that woman's position was. Yeah, I agree, Dale. People are waking up, but we're just at the brink where it's like, okay, time to rouse yourself, time to get up, time, the sun is shining in your face, it's time to wake yourself up. We're at the very beginning of that. What they're pushing for is a government that gives us no more freedom. What they're pushing for, what they're fighting for, and they're hell-bent and determined, what they're fighting for is for the American people to have no more freedom. Virginia Fox of North Carolina. Well, we need to keep an eye on her. The one that told the reporter to shut up when Mike Johnson was asked, well, didn't you not agree to not certify, you voted to not certify Joe Biden? This is what I get on Mike Johnson. The Tower card. They're fighting for fascism. Yes, exactly. Oh, I didn't. I'm not big in the know with Harry Potter. You'd think that I would be. They should go to Russia because they're working for Putin. I agree, Barbara. Our light is shining brightly on the truth. So this is Mike Johnson. What do you guys think? You can tell me what you think of this. Mike Johnson. He is going to be... Remember what I said about Jim Jordan? That Jim Jordan was afraid that being in the limelight, if he made it to be House Speaker, Jim Jordan was afraid that being on that platform would expose everything. Well, this is Mike Johnson. This is somebody who's regretting what they did in the past. Yeah. Don't worry, I've got positive on my mind too. I'm just venting because it's healthy. I don't think he'll last long. I don't. And let's remember that the fascists decided that it only would take one person to remove a speaker. So now we have a full-on fascist as a Speaker of the House, and he's I don't want to say he's handsome, but let me tell you something. This is crazy, I know, and I hate to say this, but if somebody looks, thank you, Barbara. My venting helps. If somebody looks kind of put together and presentable, then people will accept them at face value. So this is how we were better off with the ones that just their heinous behavior, like Matt Gaetz and Trump, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert, when they're just showing you, right? But this Mike Johnson is a little bit more nefarious. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, he is hiding something. So he's going to be Mike Johnson. The Tower card came up immediately about him. This has to do with things that happened in the past and needing to face them. And this is a regrets about them. He's plastic like Ivanka. He won't be able to handle the job. He won't be able to handle the job. You guys have been following me long enough, and I'm just using the basic Rider Waite. You can read these, right? He's a total slimy person. So, I don't think he's going to last. I don't. Evil makes people look ugly. I know, but if they're... You know what I mean? His hair is cut, and he wears a jacket, and he looks reasonable. to somebody who's not psychic. And I go a little bit ballistic when I hear these liars that are working so hard to destroy America, take away Social Security. They just say it. And when they just lie and lie and lie and lie. He looks disgusting, Glenn is saying. Hey, Canada. Glad you're here. I remember when Bill Barr lied after we were all waiting, you know, on pins and needles or bated breath for the Mueller report, and Bill Barr got out there and he totally lied. I needed to punch something at that moment because I was so angry when it's an assault, it's offensive, it's an insult to your intelligence when people just lie to your face. And that's why I was so mad about Matt Gaetz and Ari Melber. Just lie, lie, lie. And it's like, what? And when you don't get to say anything back. Yeah, they want to take away Social Security. They want to shut down Social Security. They want to take away Medicaid and Medicare. They want to shut the government down. They want a government shutdown in 3 weeks. Yeah, Barr is still in trouble anyway, but also, you know, Barr lied. You don't have to be a psychic for someone lying to you to just make you crazy, but I'm just saying it's a little worse. Because it's so clear. I'm going to pull 3 cards about... what's going to happen to the Republican Party. It's literally... Yeah, they want to take away women's rights. There are more women voters than men in this country. Just so we all know, there are more women than men. Women voting, there are more women than men. So the Republican Party is a house divided, and a house divided cannot stand. So we're going to pull a few cards. Yeah, they want to take away Social Security. That's called robbery. They're trying to turn it into an autocracy and an oligarchy. We're on our way to that if we don't intervene. Yeah, this is the Republican Party is divided. Divided. And I'm going to pull 3 cards to see what's going to happen to the Republican Party. The Queen of Swords, that's justice. That's the women. Cheryl, you're so sweet. Thank you. That's the women. What's going to happen to the Republican Party? They're going to, hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Yeah, these gross, pasty, white, old men want to be in the gynecologist's office. Like it's their business. Yay, Suzanne's been out getting Democrats out to vote in Virginia. I sent about 150 postcards. Keep an eye on Virginia, because Virginia needs to turn blue. Their election is November 7th. We're going to send lots of light to Virginia. Oh, it's worse than patriarchy. It's worse than patriarchy. Okay, so as far as what the Republican Party is going to do, all right, it's the women, what's going to happen to the Republican Party? The women are going to take the Republican Party down. And what the Republicans are doing, I'm just going to call them Republicans for the time being, but you know that they're fascists. So the women are going to retaliate. Franklin, Tennessee voted big time for Dems and sent a message to the MAGA. Oh, I used to live right next door to Franklin, Tennessee. Good. Franklin, Tennessee is a very wealthy area. It's where all the country music stars live. They're in Brentwood. Yeah, Maria mailed postcards to Virginia too. Yeah, so let's visualize Virginia going blue. So what the Republicans haven't really realized, because they are dimwits, let's be real. They're stupid people. They're stupid ignoramuses. I'm pulling every single, name I can out of my hat. The Republicans are missing this key point, that there are more women voters in America than men. And there are a lot of men, of course, on board with the women having privacy over their own private parts. Yeah, Franklin, Tennessee does have a lot of Civil War history. I'm kind of beside myself tonight. So the Republicans are gonna try to make it look like they're working for the American people, but they're really missing the part about the women. We have to stop the voter suppression and we'll be good. Yeah, Bill Barr should be behind bars. Yeah, this indicated that the Republicans are kind of clueless. They're out of touch. I mean, when you think about people, like they're all fairly wealthy, right? John's like, he likes my use of colorful adjectives. I'm pulling them all out tonight. Let's see, what other adjective can I use without being too crass? They're not smart. Those Republicans they're not smart. They're a bunch of dimwits, and they live in their bubbles because most of them are wealthy. And when you're wealthy, and I hate that I have to pay taxes to Marjorie Trader Green's paycheck. Yeah. They're not into, like, for instance, if by some tragic circumstance, any of them had a daughter that needed an abortion, that would happen because they have plenty of money, right? Midas touches XXX with the language these days. Oh, I'm in good company. Don't throw Jenny Thomas at me right now. That's overload. I'm gonna pull 3 cards. I'm gonna pull 3 cards about Warren. Can you stay with the topic, please? That's not fair. That's not fair because you don't know what the topic is right now. I just George Santos's energy. Oh God, I don't want to get into that right now. I'm going to pull 3 cards about how the Democrats are going to do in the face of this. How are the Democrats going to do in the face of all this? Please come to 20 on Tuesdays. We had a great meditation last night. Marjorie Trader Green is a head scratcher for you. Yeah, well, let's talk about voter suppression, because you won't be scratching your head too much if you look at the voter suppression. Look at Stacey Abrams. Don't you think more people were for Stacey Abrams, especially the minorities? It's not a true democracy. We're trying to hang on to every little semblance of it that we can. Flipping back in New York. Yeah, we are in huge support of Mark Elias. What's going on with the Democrats is they know that they're dealing with the devil. The Democrats know that they're dealing with the devil. They're fully aware that they're dealing with evil fascism. So there's not one of them in the Democratic Party that doesn't know that they're dealing with evil fascism. The kind of fascism that would just, well, we don't have to talk about that. So they are, so there's another card here. This is about the Democrats. This is indicating that they will come to agreements. This is more like within the Democratic Party. They will get a couple of things done. They will get a couple of things done. The Democrats. But right now, they're looking at democracy, the Democrats. They're looking at what needs to be done consistently and look at a steady drumbeat. The Democrats, they're looking at what they must do. and they're really in unison. The Democrats are really unified. They're really united. So it's like the Democrats all united against the Republicans that are divided. I sound like you. Your name's Annette too, so maybe that's why. You should ask what kind of Republican. I got lost. Maybe ask that question again. Thank you, Janet, for putting my information up. Business has been extremely slow. Extremely. I gotta do better on my commercials. The Democrats they know they're dealing with evil. They are consistently, constantly working on a plan to take back over. And but they don't do it with an insurrection. So they will. I'm going to ask about the possibility of a government shutdown, because it looks like the Democrats will. They're just keeping the balance as best they can. Because really, they're up against a brick wall when it comes to the Republicans. The Republicans will oust whatever speaker is in there if they do this with the Democrats. Will we have a government shutdown right before Thanksgiving? Let's think about this. If there were a government shutdown, I think it's November 17th. Less than a month from now. Lisa, I just got that there were a couple of things that the Democrats would find common ground with the Republicans. Little bit. They won't really pass anything, but it seems like there's a couple of things that the Republicans don't want to shoot themselves in the foot too bad. So there'll be like a couple of things that they'll agree to. You're welcome, Gloria. I'm glad it's working. So if there were a government shutdown, I think enough people would know that it's the Republicans' fault, even if they're watching Fox. So I'm a little lost. Johnson stated that he wanted to extend it because they want to do it in a different way. I don't know. Are you talking about the government? We have to continue to fund the government. So if it happened, that would be right before Thanksgiving. Let me tell you. The 17th, I'm going to my little calendar here. The 17th, I believe they have until the 17th to not have a government shutdown happen. It would be Thanksgiving week. It would be going right into Thanksgiving week if the government in fact shut down on November 17th. Janet called me a nurse. There's no way I could be a nurse. I'm squeamish. That's funny. The government shutdown, let's see the energy around that. Too many balls in the air for anyone to regulate people. To understand, GOP still blames shutdown on Biden. That's what the streets say? What do you mean that's what the streets say? What? Well, Suzanne, that's why we have to talk about what's going on. I mean, I don't adhere to it's not possible to get people to pay attention, even though it's very frustrating when people don't pay attention, but I don't adhere to that they're not going to ever pay attention. If there were a government shutdown, you better believe they'd be paying attention. So this is what I'm looking at for, is there going to be a government shutdown? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like that they will. I actually think that the Republicans wouldn't, because then they will be too outed. They would be too outed. I mean, think about it. If they shut down the government right before Thanksgiving, that means the TSA wouldn't, well, they'd probably have to work without pay. It would, the air traffic controllers, I don't know if they'd be working. Yeah. Thank you, David. He likes my autumn colors. Aren't you in Australia? It must be spring there. I have faith in President Biden too. Don't get me wrong. I just needed to rant because this is so upsetting what's going on. I am not seeing the government shutting down, and I'm thinking that it's more because the Republicans don't want to be completely perceived as total goons. They are, but they might try to hide it. I have I think I saved a Jake Tapper quote. Let me just see, because it was good. And I think, you know, and I'm going to read on this too. I think we might see the reporters being a little bit more feisty. So let's see. Hang on, because I really do want to. This is what I read that Jake Tapper said in an article. It said, CNN's Jake Tapper has had enough. He says, I'm covering life and death issues, serious tragedies, serious momentous occurrences here in Israel, and of course in Gaza, Jake Tapper said. But he said, we have to interrupt this for one moment to cover the complete and utter clown car that is the House Republican Speaker's race. Yeah. Good for Jake Tapper, because that's where we are, and that's why it's so infuriating. It's covering life and death issues, serious tragedies, serious momentous occurrences in the Middle East. And then we have to interrupt it for one moment to cover the complete and utter clown car that is the Republican Party. We don't have time for this nonsense. Yeah, and you know what? If I would write to CNN. I don't watch CNN, but I would write to CNN and praise Jake Tapper for just telling it like it is. And Midas Touch is getting a lot of attention because Midas Touch. So maybe I think that they're divinely guided. That YouTube channel is divinely guided. And they raise the bar for the other networks because they're almost up to 2 million subscribers. And people are tuning into them more, and the other mainstream networks are losing their viewers. I barely watch Morning Joe every morning like I used to. Can't take it. They bash Biden too many times. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Jake Tapper, but I think he did have it up to here, and I think that when in times like this, we're not playing games anymore. We are not playing games anymore. Yeah, and actually, it was I mentioned Ron Filipowski. Remember, I said the other night, I'm so glad I have a short last name. Brian Tyler Cohen is great. But I think, let's read about that. Let's read about whether the major news networks, because we are in serious times. We are in life or death situations in the world. So this is not a time for having a clown car in the Republican Party weakening our country like in ways that I can't even believe. Trump thinks Midas is influencing the judge. I'm going to pull 3 cards about whether the mainstream, lamestream news media channels are going to pick it up, raise the bar. We're in serious trouble, right? And if Jake Tapper gets a lot of positive feedback for telling it like it is, they'll do more of that because they need their viewers. They're afraid. They're afraid to step it up. These major news networks, they're afraid to step it up. These cable news networks, they're afraid to step it up. But the truth is going to be so strong, they're going to have to. And they're going to have to finally, because these anchors live in America. right? These mainstream news anchors, they live in America. So they're afraid because corporate is all, let's support the fascists. Remember, after the insurrection, how many major corporations pulled their support from Trump and from the insurrectionists, and then they all went back. So that's the pressure. Thank you, Marby. Appreciate it. That's the pressure that the mainstream, lamestream news media is up against. So they're a little scaredy. But I hate to tell you, there's going to be something that happens where they just remember, oh, I live in America and I kind of like having freedom. I live in America and I kind of like having freedom. They're not all Republicans on mainstream news media. What are you talking about? You mean corporate? They're not all. I don't speak in absolutes. Jake Tapper, what he said, that wasn't like a freaking Republican statement. So that's what I see. I see because of the dire circumstances, they get scared into adhering to democracy and the Constitution. How long that's going to take? Unfortunately, I got to tell it like it is. I think the situation in the Middle East is going to get worse. And I think because of what's going on in the world, just like Jake was saying, because of what's going on in the world, these little clown shows that the Republicans are doing are going to be less appealing. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Terry, for your support. So Donald Trump today. I need to take a breath. So Donald Trump today, it's like taking a deep dive into the slime bucket. I'm telling you what. Does mainstream media get paid by Putin? Well, let me just say this. Murdoch has connections to the Kremlin. Thanks, Maria. There's a line in Orban. How about? Oh my gosh, Trump doesn't even know the difference between Turkey and Hungary, and he called Orban the president of Turkey. I think he called Orban I think he called him the president of Turkey. And I'm hearing more and more that people are saying that Trump is definitely showing signs of dementia. Sharon's saying Trump looked like death warmed over today. And the judge called him back in after he pulled his little tantrum. I didn't get the whole story yet. I know, Orban is the president of Turkey, according to Trump. This man was in the White House. I don't even think he has, like, let me just grab this. Hang on a sec. Do you think that Trump owns one of these? Do you think he might own one of these? Do you think that Trump might have ever looked at one of these? Because if you're president of the United States, you should look at one of these once in a while. You think? Where's the moon today? It's in Pisces. Lincoln Project is freaking out. That's a good thing about MAGA Mike. Yeah. All the Republicans are fascists. Mitt left. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Trump. So he walked out of the courtroom and as the judge's name. I don't want to get it wrong. Anyway, the judge's name starts with an E. I don't want to get it mixed up. Erdogan. I get that name mixed up with the actual president of Turkey. Engoron. Thank you. That was very nice of you to spell it out. Engoron. He called him back in. He called Trump back in. Engoron. He called him back in. He walked out and said he won. Yeah. And then that poor law clerk, that poor woman, she's just there doing her job. I haven't seen the picture. And he went out and he did it again. He's no nonsense. So let's take a look. Let's pull 3 cards. Let's take a look and see. Because I really thought, well, when he had Trump come back to the courtroom, I really got jailed. I thought he was gonna a $10,000 fine. That's gotta hurt. It's better than $5,000 the other day. Judge Engoron is your latest hero. He put, yeah, so I didn't, because I was doing other things, I didn't hear what Trump did when he got on the stand, but he lied. So he perjured himself again. And I thought the judge was gonna send him to jail. Let's see. The fine does nothing, but you have to understand, Trump really doesn't have any money. So it does, thank you, Suzanne. It does affect him. He's not a multi-billionaire. Just so you know, right? We know that, right? Feels like it's dark in here. This is Trump. The fool, the fool, the fool, Trump the fool. Well, this looks like what the judge said was harsh. Yeah, he's cash poor. Yeah, he doesn't like to pay out. What the judge said when he went back in, when the judge pulled him back in, pulled Trump back in, he was harsh. He was harsh. So I want to take a look at a few more cards about that, because it looks like somebody was holding back. But I get 2 things. I get that Trump did come to a place where I think he heard jail. I think he heard jail. Haba is over the top now. Yeah, I think he heard jail, and I think he's afraid of jail. Trump is afraid of jail. He lied under oath. Okay, because to them, to the fascists, the way to crash the justice system is to be lawless, which is why, yeah, he said, yeah, the judge said he wasn't credible. Engoron. And they all knew he lied, right? I have to go and look at the video and see what he actually said. It's hard to keep up. Trump would faint if he was told he was going to jail. I do get that there was something harsh said to him. Thank you, Silva. I mean, Blue Tarot. I can't see. I feel like he said something that scared Trump. It's on Midas Touch. Of course it's on Midas Touch. I mean, I'm so grateful that if I want to know what's going on with something, I can go to Midas Touch. And I want you all to support Midas Touch. Support me too, but support Midas Touch. They're doing great work. Okay, so I want to look a little bit further to see if anywhere along the line Trump's going to see jail time. Let's see. If anywhere along the line Trump's going to see jail time. I'm getting, yes, it's startling how often I get the death card. I mean the devil card. The death card. I do get the death card a lot too. He said a jury would not convict him. Well, his stupid lawyer is the one that checked the box and said they don't want a jury. And then, I mean, that's why I said follow the plot. Follow the plot. Get all the information. The reason that he doesn't have a jury is because they checked the box that said they don't want a jury. But he's out there lying to the people that aren't paying attention. But as far as, if Trump is going to go to jail, these don't look like good cards. And if it happens, it's going to happen quickly. Something's going to come down on him pretty quickly. How about his girlfriend? Are you trying to be like Trump and make up stuff about somebody having an affair? You get what you pay for. Yeah, I saw a little bit of what, is it Alina Habba? He has to pay his attorney, Trump has to pay his attorney up front. It doesn't look good for Trump. I'm gonna just read one more thing about him, and that's how his cognitive function is doing. Yeah, we're gonna be looking for more facts. That's for sure. We're gonna be looking for more facts. Lock him up. That's what they were chanting to Trump in New Hampshire, and his people had to rush him away and not have too much of that available for going viral. Everybody take a deep breath, because I'm asking about Trump and his mental state, and he's thinking about, don't think he's not scared. Don't think that Trump isn't scared, because he knows there's no way around this. I can't even believe that he's dictating, literally. Cannot even believe he's dictating what happens in the House with the Republicans. That he I can't even believe Trump is doing this. Well, I can, but it's just so un-American. He needs more diapers. So Trump knows that justice is coming. There's plenty of evidence. And the news is coming in the not too distant future. You saw Eric in court today? His cheese done flew off his cracker. Yeah. What's the Blaine House? I don't know what the Blaine House is. Yes, he wants the Speaker of the House to be an election denier because he thinks that's going to get him off the hook. I am not really seeing Trump off the hook. I'm not seeing him off the hook. All right. So, the other thing that set me off today was that before they took a vote, today, I mean, really, think of how many people have died for freedom. Before they took a vote today, I guess they say the Pledge of Allegiance. Where's their, who's the troll? Who's the troll? Slay the troll! My goodness! They said the Pledge of Allegiance. And I just came unglued. I was so angry. I don't know, I haven't seen a troll. I am not a troll, Annette says. I didn't see a troll. Someone said there was a troll. Oh, with weird, yeah, it's from overseas. Did you guys hear them say the Pledge of Allegiance? He's scary. Which one? Let's take a commercial break. Yeah, they said the Pledge of Allegiance. And then they went and voted for an insurrectionist election denier. Honestly. So, oh my gosh. If you'd like to book a reading, this is just a quick commercial break and we'll jump right back into another question. My schedule is wide open and it's the week before Halloween and the veils are very thin. So this is the time to book a reading. And also on Sunday, we have a Halloween event that's going to be like no other. You must come. It's in a Zoom meeting room and we are doing Halloween on the 29th. So it's 6 to 8 Eastern time. Go to psychicannetteDion.com to book a reading, to book a tarot reading, a tea leaf reading, to get a ticket for this Sunday. For the event, it's a Halloween event. It's a Halloween party. And also Grassroots of Democracy meets 3 times a week. We just got aligned with Mobilize, which should bring us some more group members. So tomorrow night's our discussion group, grassrootsofdemocracy.com. You have to come to our meetings. You have to. You don't want to live in a country where you don't have any freedom and you can't even vote. You don't want that. grassrootsofdemocracy.com. I mean, I have to laugh at how many people are like, I don't like that you pressure us to come to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. I'm not going to stop pressuring people to come to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Would you just just block the troll completely? Also, Church of Spirituality is every single Sunday at 1. When you become a member, you get 10% off a reading, a tarot reading. When you become a member, you get an affirmation in your inbox every single day. And Monday through Friday, every single weekday. And you guys are being nasty about Trump. And that's all I have for right now, I think, which is strange. Next week I'm going to be at a retreat, but I will do my best to do. Thank you, Joanna. I'll do my best to do my videos next week too. Tomorrow, I almost forgot. Sorry, Kathy. I don't know if she's in the chat. Tomorrow we have our astrology show at 4. Okay, so tomorrow we have our astrology show at 4. Spirit Talk Podcast, but I don't know if I'm still going to be calling it that. Let me just make sure it's at 4 tomorrow. Tomorrow at 4, we're having our astrology show. We're heading into a full moon lunar eclipse on the 28th on Saturday. In the sign of Taurus. It's a blood moon, it's a full moon, it's a second eclipse of the month. If you've been wondering what the heck is going on and why it's so crazy. So, I don't know why you guys aren't able to get the troll. As far as the troll goes, I just blocked the troll. Whack a troll. Okay. Let's see how Joe Biden's doing. Remember him? Remember Joe Biden? He's keeping us alive. So many trolls. I guess maybe I'm getting popular. The more people that know you, the more the chances that you'll have somebody that doesn't like you. It's just the odds. How's Joe Biden doing? Joe Biden is holding the world together. It's still a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse. Cheryl, on my calendar, on my astrology calendar, it says lunar eclipse. I'm going with that. This is Biden. Yes, it's tedious, but let me tell you something. I keep picking this up. Oh, he's having a state dinner with Australia tonight? He's not in Australia. Someone forgot to put on their troll away spray. Psh. We used to do that when we were kids. It was really mean. If somebody was annoying us. Anyway, the energy of Joe Biden, it's a lot of burdens. I keep on getting about Biden that he knows what's going to happen. Well, let's give President Biden a spiritual hug. I'm freezing. Am I freezing? Cootie spray. He has a handle on things, and the high priestess is indicating. I keep on getting that he knows what's going to happen to these insurrectionists. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm freezing. Okay, very good. If you would like to throw a question up there, you may. I'm probably going to start doing shorter videos because my ROI is very low. Okay, we're good. Okay. So what I see is that Biden, it seems like Biden knows, and I think that I heard him say, I think I heard Joe Biden say, I forget what it was in regards to, but, Amy, you're so sweet. He said something like, I just can feel it. I just have a feeling. And I went, spoken like a true Scorpio. Uncle Joe, so glad he's in the White House. Let's just read a little bit about, I told you that Netanyahu was going to overreact and go full on rogue, like we did after September 11th, like Joe Biden mentioned. So we're going to look at if there's going to be success in getting the hostages freed. Riding with Biden. Will there be success? Oh, Yogi Bear's here. Will there be success in getting the hostages freed? It does look like they will. We're going to see more hostages let go. We will see more hostages let go. I actually am getting pretty good energy around this in terms of making progress. So that's good. They need to call a ceasefire. This kind of looks like they will. This kind of looks like they will call a ceasefire to get the hostages out of there. Yeah, Israel still wants a ground invasion. I'm telling you, Netanyahu, he just, I feel like he just went kind of ballistic. It's understandable. And the other world leaders are doing their best to get him to be more reasonable, to support innocent civilians. Honestly, I was saying to somebody the other day, just in terms of personal reaction to what's going on. Whenever I think that I have a problem, I think about what's going on with those people, and I just immediately go, I don't have any problems. Let's really work on getting our energy level up and just, moment to moment. We don't have any problems. They have problems. We need to send a lot of light to the Middle East and to Ukraine. Let's not forget Ukraine. I'm going to pull 3 cards on Putin. Remember the other night people were like, Putin had a heart attack, and it just wasn't coming up. I didn't see it. So let's take a look. Let's visualize all of them being freed, yes. And I do want to say, too, that when you're a member of Grassroots of Democracy, when you sign up, especially for 20 on Tuesdays, or if you sign up for Grassroots of Democracy, you will get our guided meditation for a healed America, which contributes to a healed world. So you will get a free guided meditation. It's once a week, people. So I'm gonna, the Queen from Jordan, you wish the Queen from Jordan would shut it. She's not helping with relations between, yeah. People need to be very, very delicate now. Yeah. Okay, so we have tea. We do have tea. And I'm going to remember to read the tea leaves tonight. By the way, you guys are pretty good at reading tea leaves, I noticed. How about we pull 3 cards about Putin? The other day I got that it was fake. That the news wasn't accurate. So we'll pull 3 cards. I did feel like he was in bad health, but I didn't feel like he had a heart attack. I felt like he was being whisked away. Oh, and when you join Grassroots to Democracy, you get a free tote bag. Thanks, Maria. I try to remember everything, but... What's with all the women? Interesting. Well, I'm reading on Putin, and I still see him fleeing. And I feel like the queens are indicative of money, of oligarchy. For some reason, it just feels like it's coming up around Putin and the oligarchy. I feel the people of Russia are getting more strength. And I still get Putin fleeing. I still feel like Putin's going to be fleeing. Bottle drop on that one. Did you hear that? There will be another Putin double. Yeah, well, but I feel him fleeing. I feel real, the women are rising up. I've been saying it for a long time. And I just to remind you, to recap, when I was reading on the fascist Republicans, they don't understand the power of the women that they're trying to suppress and take away their privacy. Major bottle drop, right? When I was talking about Putin fleeing. And I'll just pull 3 cards now about what's going to happen in the next few days with the American people. Lots of drinking going on today. For what reason? Oh, the bottle drop. It's always a big bottle drop. Okay. Yeah, I guess that restaurant, they serve a lot of drinks. Their sign outside has a martini glass, so yeah, it makes sense. You heard that Putin's mistress is in Argentina? Is that true? Because I couldn't figure out why I keep seeing Putin flying to South America. Interesting. All right. I'm going to pull 3 cards about how is America waking up? There's news she left him. It's a Putin body double. Yeah, it's been a Putin body double for about 7 times now, if you ask me. We're going to read on America. Say lots of prayers for protection. Okay. I keep pulling the Justice card and I'm shuffling these cards. When I'm looking at America, there is going to be, interestingly enough, I'm pulling 3 cards for America. Things are changing because of justice. This is giving me hope. After today, you're sure America has woken up? Yeah, well, that was good timing there. This is America right now. People are waking up to the danger way more than you would imagine. Where is the real Putin? I get that he's going to South America for some weird reason. Maybe he's living there. We wouldn't know. He will die in the way. I've been through this, bless his soul. I'm confused. No woke words from Sarah Huckabee. Oh, we should read on her. Look at me trying to cut it short. America is starting to see what's going on. So this gives me hope because it really feels like a lot of, when you hit a certain point where the momentum just, like the tipping point. I'm feeling people doing a good double take, like about face. What are they doing? What are these Republicans doing? I'm seeing it catch on. The spark is catching on and the fire is starting to spread of Americans saying, No, enough already. Like I said when we first started tonight, I'm so sick of the gaslighting. We did that. I'm so done with listening to Donald Trump lying and whining and complaining and the gaslighting and the Matt Gaetz, and they get in these interviews and they just lie and lie and lie, and they think they're so smug and they're so much better than other people, and they're trying to take away our rights. I think it's catching on. I think people are catching on. I mean, it really does boggle my brain, which is, I know it's a cult, but it boggles my brain how somebody can look at somebody as revolting as Donald Trump or Matt Gaetz or the rest of them, but especially Donald Trump. How somebody can look at that man and say, I want to follow him. Can't take his voice anymore. Can't take Marjorie Taylor Greene's voice anymore. It's awful. Let's look at some tea leaves, shall we? Well, I do see some luck. I do pick up some of Jack Smith's energy. Jack Smith, just so you know, Jack Smith is going to always be under the radar. It's like watching a high school soap opera, I'm telling you. It's crazy. You've been talking to people who are taking their dogs for a walk and you think the tide is changing. Yes. Yeah. And think about what we were founded on. And think about those who have crossed over that are helping America to get through this. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to understand how people have gone so astray, but they were led astray. But when it comes down to our rights, and when they start talking about taking away Social Security, let me remind you, Mike Johnson wants to take away Social Security. So now they're pissing off the women, and they're pissing off the old people, and the people that need help. Oh, well, they were led astray. Yeah, there were a lot of cult things going on there. So in that way, they were a lot of them were led astray. They were vulnerable and gullible. I know people should wake up, but some just don't. But more are. And I just see people that are, for democracy getting involved. Anyway, so we have here in Venus, look at that. Look at that figure of a woman. See that? See the woman? There's a woman there. And we are going to start hearing so much from powerful women. They want to take away all our freedoms. It's absolutely true. At the bottom of the cup, we have a bell. There is a bell. This is what's coming. And then there's Mars. So we're going to have news. There's a bell. So we're going to have some news coming about the war that seems like it's favorable. The war in the Middle East. And the war in Ukraine, I feel that there's some favorable news coming there. I kind of feel like in Ukraine, it's going to be like boom, 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 boom in Ukraine and boom, boom, literally. And Ukraine's going to gain ground. Yeah, you see the woman? Isn't that crazy? And it's in, so there's a woman right where Venus is. There's a woman. I think that we're all going to be blown away by how much the women, like Jasmine Crockett, like that, and AOC, and I mean, you will see the Democrats, the women Democrats, they're going to go ballistic because of this Mike Johnson dude who wants to take away women's rights completely. He wants a full-on abortion ban. Women power, big time. It's right in the Venus section of the cup. And then I see people lining up behind the cause. You know when you just get motivated, you just get inspired and you just get motivated and it's like, that's it. Oh, Eris and astrology. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't see Kathy in the chat, but we will talk about that tomorrow. And thanks for bringing up astrology. I do see America actually making a little bit of a gain. So I'm thinking that the government shutdown, it looks like, will be avoided somehow. There are angels. There are rewards. The fruits of our labor are coming. Stay strong. Perfect timing, Rondaroo. What sign is Johnson? We'll ask. Because Kathy said she did pull out his chart. And a sneak preview, it doesn't look good for Johnson, but tune in tomorrow. And the young people. The young people. You think they want this for their future? God, no. And the strength of our democracy is... Oh, Mike Johnson is an Aquarius. The strength of our democracy is greater than you might think. It's just that it's kind of like, say if you were a runner and you were a really strong runner, or maybe you won a lot of races, and then you just kind of like took some time off, and then when you got back into running, you just got good again. So it's like, we haven't really been practicing our democracy, but it's like muscles that haven't been exercised in a while. You do have muscle memory, right? So we are going to hit our stride when it comes to saving our democracy. We have a good foundation. We just all kind of stop paying attention. But when we start paying attention again, it's going to be much better. So please take advantage of all that we're offering here. Don't sit around and worry about America. Come to Grassroots of Democracy. Come to our guided meditation for a healed America. Come to our Halloween celebration on Sunday night. It's only $45. If you invite a friend, it's $40. It's 2 hours of fun. You can have a party at home while you attend the Halloween party, the Halloween event. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. I've got plenty of time to do a reading. I am 30 years into this business as a professional psychic. So, Cheryl, you're so sweet. You're always making me feel better. I love you guys. You're always making me feel better too. And there was something else that was really important. Oh, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe. Please share. I'm in that frustration zone of putting out hours and hours of content and the numbers not growing, and you can help me with that. And I know you want to, because you're awesome. Okay, the angels are with us, the guides are with us, and let's share one last group hug before we say goodnight. Ready? Group hug. We're in this together. We're all connected. Okay. See you soon. Namaste. See you Friday or tomorrow.